Greetings, listeners and viewers. Your host for the night, Zach, here, introducing you to The Call of 1973, a Call of Cthulhu podcast by Twisted Gears Studios. This was recorded over a year ago, so many of the learnings over the past year of recording The Call you may notice are not present. You won't see any inclusion of luck or penalty dice. However, Derek will be showing off a set of dice made by our friends over at Divine Soul Dice. Our Ko-fi has undergone some changes. You will now find that there are 3 tiers. Please click the video link below for an in-depth overview of what that all looks like. For each month that you are in the Creative Collaborator tier or higher, your name will go into a draw. At the end of the arc, I will draw the winner at the end of the episode's finale, and we'll get your info so we can send the dice that Derek used to mess with us in the session to you. So thank you, Divine Soul Dice, for the custom 1973 inspired resin dice set. Also, if you want to support the channel in other ways, we have a merch shop to grab some t-shirts, hats, mugs. We'll be changing up the shop every once in a while, so stay tuned for when the changes happen. But for now... Last but up to our investigators. Still being split up, Virginia has begun investigating the lower levels of the hospital, while the others are fighting to escape against the hospital's current inhabitants.
Fully humans' turn. They are not 3 raccoons in a trench coat.
There's no trench coat. Only loincloths, barely.
As we're going to progress into this to keep this tension going, as it's their turn, what happens is the one who is sort of standing up that you tried to hit with the baseball bat and missed turns on you.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, and the one who's on you reaches down for the bite. Yep. Now, even though it's on you, did you want to try to dodge? And if it's a successful dodge, I'll have you oppose strength. Push it off you. You know what I mean? With the dodge, you could remove this creature that's on you.
Yeah, I'll try it.
Or fighting back, which means there's a chance you could knock it off you, but it's not guaranteed.
But yeah, I'll try the dodge.
Okay, so it's going to come down for the bite, and you're like in a bit of a tough situation, but I'm willing to just allow this to be...
Okay.
Go ahead.
34 out of 50 for the dodge.
34 out of 50 for the dodge. Okay, the way I'm going to do this now, instead of looking it up, because it is, it had succeeded as well, I'm going to go to the person who has the highest amount in the skill. That's just how I'm going to do it. So it is a tie. You have a 50 in your skill, which is higher than its bite percentage.
Nice.
Okay? So you do manage to put, with your hands with the shotgun, push out from it.
Yeah.
So its bite, as you're pushing it out, just goes, and it's right on the side of your face. So you can just click.
Yeah.
Just you can feel actually the teeth just skim your cheeks slightly, that graze. But I'm going to have to call for an opposed strength roll. Okay. It rolled, I'm not going to tell you what it rolled, but it is your go.
I got a 64 out of 75.
You got a 64 to 75. It has failed its strength roll.
Okay.
And you managed to push it off you down the corridor.
Okay,
so it just pushes onto the ground.
Okay.
And sort of lands on the ground, so you're standing there by yourself. Okay. Now the one on you.
I'm going to try and dodge.
Okay, so what it's going to do is it's not going for a bite or anything or a grapple. It's disoriented. It just almost got hit with a baseball bat.
And it just got shot by a shotgun or the Winchester?
Yeah, it seems to swing along with the end bones sort of at you. Okay.
Ooh, 72 out of 30.
72 out of 30. It has also missed you. So I'm just going to say it's sort of a state where it does, you both failed. So it's not like I'm not going to say you dodge back into the room, which is the way I was going to, which is the way I was going to do it. But you do manage to just move your head slightly, and it's a couple of inches. It's not as close as that was at you. But right now, nobody is grabbed. Okay? As we move to the next in the order, which is
Trish.
Which is Trish, who you used your action to push it off of you. It was a dodge, but I believe I did say with a success you do. Yeah. As you push it off, you step back steps into the room. Everyone's.
I wasn't planning to do that.
Okay. Fair enough. At this point, you also hear more squeals and bleeps from the corridors.
You're not coming into the room?
Well, my job is to make sure you guys get in there and to be the shield between you and these things.
Then we go to Carolyn, who also attempted to dodge. She was just standing out there, and That's it.
Okay.
As we move on to Halbrick.
Great.
Well, don't forget, Quilty still gets to go before them as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's...
Although we are waiting for an elevator anyway.
But there's a door.
Yeah, that's true too. So I'm gonna start telling everyone to get in the fucking room. But I have to step forward a bit to grab the nurse here, Nurse Harrison. So I'm actually gonna grab her and pull her. Can I won't be able to physically, I don't know. Can I grab her and move her out of the way and then shoot?
No.
No? Yeah,
Saving, pulling Harrison in would be your action. But you would be pulling her into the room.
Yeah, and you're in the room, Mick, already?
Yeah.
You're not in the room. You're just at the edge of the room.
I'm the only one in the room?
Okay, because I thought...
oh, you had stepped back.
Yeah.
But you're...
The first shot, I stepped back to the door, and then the second shot, I stepped back.
Oh, okay. No. That's fine. That you're just inside that room.
Yeah.
That's fine. So right now, Trish is the only one who's sort of outside that room. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he just pulled me inside.
You're pulling
Yeah,
her.
that's
in.
right.
Oh, after I pull.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. Because I'm assuming you're not going to resist.
No.
That's my
Yeah,
question.
so just grab you by the back of your shirt
And
and pull you into the room.
pull in, and then, and it's just tense. Then we go to Mick's turn. What would you like to do?
Is she within, grabbing
Yeah, it's
range?
like 5 feet in front of you, so you can just take one quick step, grab her, and pull her in.
That's what I'm doing.
Me?
Yeah, you're the only one.
You're the only
out.
one out there.
Okay.
Well, is there... You want to resist being pulled into safety? Everyone else is safe in...
Everyone else is in there?
Everyone's
Yes.
in there.
Okay, fine.
That's what-
Fine.
You can't sacrifice yourself yet.
I was going to say, no, not for no reason.
I do whatever I violently want to.
Mr. Mick grabs you by the shoulder, and in the heat of blood, you slightly look back and see that everyone else is safe in that security room.
Okay.
And you are pulled back. Okay? Is that fair?
Yep.
Okay. Now we're going to go to their turn. Now you're all in the room. The doors aren't closed. So you'll have to withstand. Now you're in front to take the brunt of stuff.
Yep.
Right? You hear movement coming from the other corridors. You're not sure how much movement there is. As these figures sort of rear back and try to once again.
Yeah. Lunge at me.
Well, one of them tries to lunge at you. One of them tries to lunge at Carolyn because pulled back. So you're in front and you're... Nurse Harrison is in front.
Yep.
And Trish is in front.
Yeah, we're in the same spot.
Okay. Now, here's the question. I'm going to do Trish first. Did you want to fight back, maybe with the butt of the shotgun or something else?
Yeah, because they're too close for me to actually take a shot for my fight back, I'm assuming.
Actually, you aren't grappled. Just give me 1 second.
Okay. Because if I can shoot, my skill is much higher in that than it is in the melee combat.
You can fight back, but it wouldn't be a shot. It would be with the blunt end.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't want this thing to dodge and have it come in with us. I want it outside the doors. Okay.
Okay, so I've just rolled for the person, the completely normal.
Okay. My melee weapons is 53. Oh, 82.
82.
Yeah.
So it lashes out with one's class, and as you bring up the butt just with inside, trying to hit it to knock it back, it does manage to claw you along the arm.
Gross.
All right.
Okay? So you are wearing a barrier vest. As it rips a large amount of flesh out of your arm, right through that barrier vest that was covering, and it does 4 points of damage as it just rips a chunk out of your arm. Okay? But it is not in the room. And then we're going to go.
I would like to dodge.
You would like to dodge.
Yes, I
Okay,
would.
fair enough.
44 out of 30.
I rolled a 99.
Holy crap.
So you both critically fumbled.
That's
Because you had a 44.
Yeah.
Right? Don't forget to put it. Oh, you probably
I
already
do.
have it tick into dodge.
I do.
Yeah, as you both critically fumble. So basically, the way I'm going to play this is, it seems to be lunging forward to try to grab you, to bite you, but it also critically fumbled. So as you're coming at each other, its back foot skids and it falls on its ass. It's a security door, but at the same time, as you're trying to dodge, you lose your footing and fall on your ass inside the room.
Yeah, that's not so bad.
Okay. Now that is done, we move over to Trish. Now you're just inside you're all inside the room.
I already used my turn.
Actually, wants to fight back.
Okay, and then Carolyn already used her turn to do that. As we go to Agent Halbert.
Everyone is at least a step inside the room.
Everyone is.
I grab both doors and close them.
You grab both doors and close them. So just as you're getting the door closed, it will be a strength check. Because as they're sort of going to be pushing against the door.
Yeah.
Now, there will be also a turn with Mick in order to do this. Right? Once your turn comes. It's just a strength.
79 out of 55.
So what happens is, because they also fail, you're trying to click the door into place. But you can see they're pushing, and there's the bony fingers are reaching in between the door and stuff like this.
Snap them off. It's like a baby carrot. Like a baby carrot.
As we go to Mr. Mick, as you see this happening, what would you like to do?
I'm putting my weight into the door as well.
So you jump
My
forward,
guy.
just like you're playing hockey, baby. You take that shoulder check into the door. You just take that front forward shoulder check into the door to go along with you. I will give you a plus 20% on your strength check. Right? Because you got that little bit of a hump. You've already got somebody doing it. And it's going to be an opposed strength. Ooh.
82 out of 75.
82 out of 75. It's two fails. So as you hit the door, the creatures at the same time has just rammed the door on their side, so there's still that slight gap with this one claw coming in. And then it's their turn. So what happens is that one claw that's coming in, it's only going to be against one of you.
Well, I guess
Who's pushed against the door. I'm going to do randomly, because technically it's just sweeping inside. You're both at that.
Oh, we're both able to possibly do. Okay.
But to get attacked.
Oh, get
Because
attacked.
the claw's in. I'm going to randomly which one it's going to swipe at. Okay?
Sure. Yeah.
Odds, evens?
Yeah.
Evens. So as you jumped in, it sort of swipes its claw just past you and seems to try to dig into you.
It's gonna hit not Quilty, Mick.
Not the pilot.
Did you want to dodge out of the way of this, or dodge out of the way would probably be. You could choose to do that. The issue is if you choose to do that on your turn, you can't attempt to help slam the door shut.
And
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As far as dodging as well, I would have to remove my weight from the door as well.
Oh yeah, you'd be jumping back from the door. Yes. I can allow a fight back, but it's sort of at the claw itself, which I'm okay with because you can swing up your Winchester and hit with the butt of the rifle against the arm, so you can attempt to fight back. But that does also mean you won't be able to help get this door shut, or you just take the risk of the roll.
I'm just gonna take it.
This is killing me.
I rolled an 83.
Ah,
It does
yes!
not. Yeah. So as a swings, this sort of snags your plaid coat.
No, not the plaid.
Yeah. Sort of, but it doesn't gain any purchase because plaid is good versus the unnatural.
Yeah.
And it does that. And at this point, I'm just gonna say because they've went with all of you in the room, you all just push against the door and manage to get it closed.
Yeah.
I'm okay with allowing it at this point. I mean, you're bleeding quite profusely. There's like a numbness in your arm. You did get pretty good. Okay, if that makes sense.
Yep.
As you're in the room, and just as the door's closed, then you're like, oh, thank whoever Christ.
Does the magnetic lock take it?
You hear like it's like this click, right? As then you hear the elevator door opening.
Slowest elevator ever.
That was really quick, actually. Quick enough.
Yeah.
Wait, maybe we should be taking the stairs. I mean, we're gonna get lost in the elevator.
You'd have to leave. There is no
No,
stairs.
we're
in
going.
this room.
We're
There's
already
just
here.
the elevator.
trapped in the elevator.
As the door rises up,
Oh,
and
the
then
fuck's in the elevator?
and the grate opens. Oh, there's nothing in the elevator except space.
The empty
Time.
void.
And time.
It's the worst, the greatest of
Now
enemies.
your arm is bleeding quite profusely.
Yeah.
Come on, let's get in the elevator and then I can start patching you up. Let's
Yeah,
go.
that's fine.
So you get into the elevator. There are 2 buttons on the elevator, one above the other. There's just 2 buttons. It's not labeled. You just see 2 buttons.
Up or down?
I hit the down button.
You hit the down button, and you do realize
You
that
said it came up, right?
it came up from the floor. You realize looking that all the mechanical aspect of the elevator is just above. It doesn't go any higher. Right? So you hit the down button.
Yeah.
And you also notice that the lights on the elevator, now that you're pressing it, is like flickering. And even the red light around in the button you press that comes on sort of flickers. Just
Yep.
flickers.
Okay.
Just like a lot of the other things. And as you press it, you realize, oh yeah, this is a freight elevator. I'm just going to push through this. And you hold the button. And you have to hold it until the grate closes. And then the door comes down. It's very common for these type of elevators. And then you release the button. And then chunk. And it starts lowering.
While the elevator's lowering, I would like to do a first aid check on Sergeant Benton.
Okay, so the moment, before you roll anything, the moment you reach your first aid plus bag, if you will, and just prepare to open it to take a look, the elevator stops. It's only like 1 floor down.
Oh.
Almost like in the basement of the hospital.
But while
It's
they're
not-
doing their thing, as soon as the elevator stops, I go, fuck, I'll take my gun out and point it at the elevator door. Because I assume they're...
And I'm doing the same thing because that's what I'm like. Plus, one of my distinguishing features is high pain threshold.
Oh yeah, and I'm fine with saying that you are in the height of combat awareness right now, so you're not. You know what I mean? It's not slowing you down. What's happening?
If I seem to start, like I'm gonna faint, please hold a gauze to me or something.
I'm gonna bandage this up, whether you're holding the gun or not. So you
Alright.
keep aiming that. I'm making sure you don't bleed to death.
Okay. This time though, I'm strapping the shotgun before I go out, and the machine gun is coming out.
And that is fair. As the elevator doors, of course, open, it's just blackness. It's pitch dark down here. But you notice that it must be a hallway or something in front of you, because way at the end of the hallway, you see the light source of a flashlight in one of the rooms off of the corridor. There's a flashlight. There's a, you know what I mean? You can get that flick of a light going across.
Yeah.
So you're just shining along the floor, and it looks like it's just this long corridor.
Can I roll the first aid check?
The first aid will take time,
Yes.
right?
Let's come in from the elevator. We don't want to be in the elevator and then go back up.
Okay. I'll take a step in.
Okay, so you take a step in, and it's a fairly long corridor, fairly wide, and there seems to be doors all the way down, and but you can't really, you know what I mean? You can just see the semblance of doors because, to be honest, if you're shining at the floor, you're not shining down the hallway, so you can't. Yeah. So it basically just seems to be a fairly wide corridor, and as you step outside, it is going to take like 4 to 5 minutes to do a first aid work.
Would you mind watching over this work? And I'm going to kind of slip down the hallway and see what's making that flashlight?
Yep.
Okay, so what happens is, because you had the flashlight, somebody else needs a flashlight on for you to be able to see to do a first aid check.
I take
Right.
my own flashlight out of my
And
bag
just
and
a shot.
put it in my mouth.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. And the 3 of you are staying there, and you're going to start working your way down the corridor. Okay. Would somebody call out to Lindsay and ask her to come back in, please?
Ooh.
Let's get Ginny back into this situation. Could you roll me an alertness roll, please?
It just comes back in. Just roll right away.
Oh, shit. It's a 30-something out of 22, so...
Oh, okay, fair enough. So what happens is, as Agent Halbrick is shining the light down, right? Being very careful, walking up this corridor from the elevator, and you saw a light, like a flashlight, coming from one of the side rooms. But as you get down there, you also notice that there's, just on the other side of this door, like in the corridor, and then there's the door to the left in the corridor, and at the end of the hall, there's 2 like double hospital doors. Not security doors, but like Opens up into a larger area. And as you get in there and you sort of look into the office, you see what appears to be like it's an office with a desk and books. It seems to be tossed a bit. So it seems to be like it's been slightly ransacked. I believe that's how I describe it. You know, it's slightly ransacked and stuff like that. And you can see Ginny in there with a flashlight, sort of looking around. And I need you to also make me an alertness roll.
So the light source that I saw is...
Yes. But you get to make an alertness roll.
Ah, it's not great. I don't think my alertness is that high. It's 50. Alertness. 54. I rolled a 73.
Don't forget to put a tick in alertness.
Oh, well, that's a plus.
Okay. And that seems to be, so you can interact. That's what you see. You see Ginny in there with a flashlight, sort of looking around the room. Right? Just sort of like standing by the desk, shining the light around the room. And that's who you see, so...
I can see the door into this room.
You can see the door, right?
Yeah,
so I'm going to say you take a quick glance at the door then, which is fine. You know what I mean? Because you did bring up the door, and so the door is open, so just as you glance at the door, like, etched into it, in, like, you know, glass etchings on these doors, is, it says, medical director, is what it says.
Okay. All right. Let's go real quick here. Damn it.
What is your first aid check?
30 out of 84.
30 out of 84. Okay. So you recover 1 wound.
Okay.
And it is wrapped up, but it was quite a horrific tear. But it is wrapped and stuff like that.
Okay.
But now I'll get back to you because that is going to take a little bit of time, so you're going to have time to talk.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not very stealthy, so I can't even roll the stealth thing.
You can roll it.
You can roll it.
No. So I'll actually shine the light on you at the doorway. So I'm going to stand in the doorway, the frame of the room, and shine my light up at you.
Okay.
React however you wish.
I'm gonna look up in surprise that you're there.
Yep.
So where was the other? You found another way down here. Where?
Oh, there's no other way down here. I got attacked by one of those things.
And how did you make it down here?
It rushed me hard enough. It pushed me through the door. But it didn't bite me. I don't know. But it turned away. I didn't want to chance it because I don't know why it didn't initially bite me. Could have changed its mind. And I closed the doors behind me. And I don't have anywhere else to go.
What doors? The doors that we had seen earlier?
Yes.
And so, have you found anything interesting in this room yet? Can I roll like an alertness roll, kind of like see if I can passively glance things while I'm like having this conversation, but I'm looking around?
That would be a search roll. You've already failed an alertness roll for whatever you could have seen in the room.
Yeah, search.
So you're going to spend time now searching the room for new information. Because it's not a casual glance.
I got a different one. I got a better one, actually. I want to make it look like I'm looking around the room, but really I'm investigating this person. Can I make a human check on her?
Okay, so you can roll a human check.
Yeah.
What's your human?
60.
Okay.
12.
12%. Okay, all I can really tell you about the human is with a 12, everything she told you is basically, you know, it doesn't seem like she's got any tics or is obviously like, you do feel like you're not getting the full story. Like there's something a bit off about the story, which is fair. It's sort of like a psychology, reading body language. This is an agent. But it's not that. It's like, she's lying to me. It's not, it's not
that's
that.
fair.
But it's like, oh, something weird.
But you asked me if I found anything interesting.
Yes.
I found, what was the cards called?
Data cards.
Data cards, there we go. I found a box. And I'll pick up the box. And I said, I found data cards for computer. Yeah, I wouldn't think they would have enough power for a computer, but here they are.
I wouldn't think they'd have enough power for whatever kind of lock was on the door upstairs, but I assume if they can power one, that makes sense they would have the other.
But my other question is, too, why is there no electricity down here?
Likely it's just not turned on at the moment. Can I come over and take a look at this box of data cards?
Oh, yeah,
It's about 6 inches high, foot long. Like, it look, Dewey Decimal System. Everybody else
and it's like
Dewey
slots of
Decimal
like
System.
the punchable computer cards.
Oh,
The
I see,
data
I
cards.
see, I see.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's a whole pile of them in there.
Can I start? Is there a check to make sense? Like what? Can you can't pull any information unless you put them in a computer, right?
Yeah, so it'd be like a computer science check.
Which, if you don't have anything, it's 0.
Me either.
I'm
bro.
not that kind
Me
of.
either.
I'm not that bookie. I'm a different kind of bookie. Well, shit. So I guess without a computer, we're kind of screwed on that one.
But there would be a computer, though. Why would there be data cards if there's not a computer associated with it?
Oh, yeah, there's got to be a computer around here somewhere, and there's none in this room.
Not in this room, but there is the two, and you do realize that the way this is laid out, like these seem to be offices down this corridor or lunchroom, stuff like that. There seems to be that type of area, and that double doors would lead into whatever the operational area of this basement is.
Okay. Can I take the cards out of the? I guess it's just like a little plastic container there. And you just take them out.
You can, yeah. So what do?
Take the cards out.
All
Like,
of
are
it?
you trying to see if there's information on them?
Well, maybe I'm not understanding the container that they're in. I assume that it's
So-
like a plastic tub that they're just kind of in.
So it's like a wooden
Yeah.
box, except it's 6 inches high,
yeah.
around 12 foot long, and the top flips up,
12 inches.
and it's sort of like you can flick through.
It was 12 inches high?
Sorry, it's a foot long.
Yeah.
6 inches high,
Yeah.
and you can just all the cards are in slots, and you can flick through them. You know what I mean?
And
Like,
there's no labels on them.
they just seem to be punches, and there seems to be like numbers on the cards. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like different numbers on as you're flicking.
About how many cards are there?
50? About 50.
Oh, yeah.
It's a few. Can the whole container be moved?
Oh yeah, it's like a box. It's like a you can just lift it up. move
Like
it
you can
around.
carry it.
But
You
the
can
card
carry it.
and the cards are like little like post-it size little slips
Yeah.
of punch cards.
Yeah, and they're all in it. Yeah,
And the labeling is on the card, not on the container.
it's on the cards.
I will actually go and I will take all 50 of these papers out and then put them in a pocket.
That's a lot of papers to put in a pocket.
I'll put it in. So
Okay.
I have one of those like windbreakers. It's like a big puff.
Yeah. Okay, so
stuff in there.
as
25 in
you
each pocket.
start removing them, I need you to roll me a computer science.
59 out of 40.
Okay, fair enough. So you take them. I'm assuming you just let them take them out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you just take them out, and you just put them loose in your pocket. It's a foot long.
Wait, do we have a back? Do you have a backpack?
We
All
all
of us
have
have a
backpacks.
satchel.
We all have like
Yeah.
kits and stuff. With us.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it
Basic.
big enough that it can fit in my satchel? I didn't know I
Yes.
had a satchel. I just thought I had to go. Oh, I'll just take the whole container and put the whole thing in my bag.
I'm allowed.
Water
like-
temperature.
I didn't know I had a bag.
Yeah, but when I said base gear, if you want to have a bag, you can
Oh!
say it because it's understandable.
Yeah,
you have
okay.
a bag because you also have your
Sweat.
forensics
What's
kit. You could
Oh.
that's your
Oh,
satchel,
fanny
and you can
pack.
just.
I'm gonna take the whole case without.
Yeah, it's only
damages.
a foot. It's
Put
only
it
a
in a
foot.
bag.
Who
Yeah.
can't read data cards?
It's
They just
only-
sweat through them. Like, oh my
Maybe.
god.
That's around a foot.
Okay, I'll take that and just in the bag.
We're
There it
essentially camping.
Jesus.
Yes. So
Yeah.
you put it into So he just takes the computer cards and puts it into his little bag. Fair enough.
And I'm also going to say to you, when I came in here, it was as if someone had already gone through the office. But not like flipping tables. Like, you know how if you're in a rush, you grab stuff and you leave doors open? That's how I found it.
Criminology.
Oh, what?
It's
I get to actually make a
It's
criminology
not
check?
against you. It's to see how this room was tossed.
Fuck! 73 out of 70.
Put a tick in criminology. Put a tick in criminology. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it looks like the room was fairly ransacked. It doesn't seem to be as torn apart as the rest of the hospital, like in areas where stuff has been really completely ransacked. It looks like it was ransacked with a purpose, but you don't know what really...
Yeah.
You can't gauge, you know what I mean? Yeah, any more information than that.
And this is all you were able to find?
Just these computer cards. But
Okay.
there's no computer in here. So I would assume
Something for that.
it's through the doors.
I'm going to reiterate a recommendation I made earlier. You've been attacked, and Sergeant Benton has been very violently attacked.
Is she... How... okay.
Mick and Nurse Harrison have also been injured, so we are all going to stick together to ensure optimum survival for all of us. I believe we all agreed on that before going into the hospital, is that correct?
That's true, but I did lag behind. I'm very tired, and this thing just came out of nowhere.
Alright, so then we shall keep up with you then.
That's fine. But there might be better medical supplies. If they require... Like, how bad are they?
We should go back and ask.
And I'm going to leave the office and meet up where everyone else is.
So just as you leave the office, you all explode! No, just as you leave the office and you look down the hallway, you can all sort of catch on. You see with Agent Halbrecht, you see Ginny.
And Trish just goes, well.
The Marine.
Doc, what happened?
I'm just going to say you meet in the middle of the corridor. Is that okay?
I'm just
You all
going to
sort of
say the
move
exact
forward?
same thing I said to the FBI agent.
That doesn't make any sense. You didn't have a key.
I'm just telling you how it happened. I had nowhere else to go. But I did find in this office of, what was his name? Quell. Director Quell.
Artist Quell.
Artist Quell. Computer data cards.
Can I roll a human check to see about her story?
Sure.
Because, yeah, her story doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense that the doors came open.
Yeah.
But, yeah, okay. Same thing. Roll a human.
5.
5%. It's the same information that I had given Agent Halbrecht previously. Is that, yeah, there seems to be maybe some gaps or something a little bit fishy about the story. But it's not like, she's a liar. It's just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't.
Yeah, it's not,
different.
a human isn't going to say, this is what she lied about.
No.
This is what the information is.
Yeah.
It's just there seems to be something a little bit off about the story. But other than that,
Glass the Paradox reliably says about it.
yeah. But anyone who's also was anyone who did the labels and saw, medical director, you do recognize the name Artist Quell.
I don't have first aid.
She's already
I'm fine.
been first
Yeah, you
aid.
can see that her arm is heavily bandaged. Trish's
Okay.
arm is heavily bandaged.
Luckier than me, Doc. Congratulations.
I don't know about congratulations. I'm sorry that happened to you. Does anybody require, how bad is everyone else?
Oh, Sarge was the only one who they managed to lay the hit on.
And the blood
Oh,
is
you guys
stopped?
are all fine?
Yes.
So you don't require any other...
I know what I'm doing.
I'm just saying that we're in a facility. There might be some more things to continue to help aid. That's all I know.
And I have a lot of those with me, and anything that I don't have with me is expired.
I'm just trying to...
You're not a
help.
medical doctor, you're a scientist.
I'd like to help where I can.
Exactly.
All right, ladies, no need to continue fighting over me. We should move on and figure out what we're doing here.
That's a good response.
Such a great response. Okay.
Just would make me like, fuck.
That is such a great response.
Oh.
It seems to be that other than the offices that you came through, now you were looking in those doors, so I'm going to say you can just relay. They seem to be lunchrooms, some other smaller offices. None of these other lunchrooms or offices seem ransacked. It was only the medical director's office that was ransacked.
That's correct.
But the only other thing down here, at the end of the hall by Artist Quell's office, is the 2 double doors that would potentially lead into the operational area of whatever's going on down here.
All right. How up to par are you feeling, Sergeant?
I am 100% par, sir.
All right. You and I take the doors. Mick, can you take the back of the group and just make sure nothing's coming up behind us, and we'll have our 2 non-combatants in the center.
I most certainly can.
Wicked. Shall we?
Let's shall.
With the
Deirdre's ready to go.
Yeah, you see the
The machine gun out. Screw the shotgun. The machine gun's out.
You've named the machine gun Deirdre?
Yes.
You can carry
So
stuff?
good.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One of my distinguishing features is high pain threshold.
Yeah.
That's the reaction I wanted from that tent area.
Yeah, the creepy monsters, no reaction. A high pain threshold, that's fucked.
Marine.
Yeah, you can see some blood seeping
Oh my
a bit
God.
through the gauze and the wrapping, which is fine.
I don't have time to bleed.
I don't. We are on schedule.
So
Amazing.
you go up
Yep.
to Trish and Agent Halbrecht go up to the doors. It's a double door, same thing with just a push. It's not like the security door. They're not locked. They're just a push open. I'm assuming you're pushing open. I'm assuming Agent Halbrecht is pushing open the doors while Trish is covering him with a killing machine.
Got your flashlight?
And I also have, a big gun.
Ho ho! Say!
Well fucking done. I'm so proud of you.
As you push open the doors, okay, it does look to be dark as you're pushing them, but at some point, as the doors open, there's a sensor. This is not a booby trap, let me finish. Let me finish. There was a sensor underneath or something that it clicks to as the doors open up, and as the doors open up, they sort of click to the walls, like they stay open. And as that happens, you hear the hum of electricity. And you see lights come on in a... Not... Maybe around... It seems to be a couple of steps down. There's a couple of steps. A ramp. It would be a ramp. A slight ramp down to lower the elevation of the room a bit. Around 12-foot high ceilings. And a cavernous structure. Like, it is a fairly large in here, and you see like machines you've never seen before as you look in. There's like hanging down lights that are giving off, and once the power's on down here, it doesn't flicker. This is electricity. And then you can see these large, they almost look like really large generators and turbines off in the distance in this room. I'm not saying it's like, let's say the room's around 100 and... Let's say around between half and a full football field.
Is it like...
It's a big stretch.
Is it like maybe like similar to, Captain America's experiment room, except
Yeah.
twice as big?
Yeah, it is actually, yeah, it's a bit bigger than that, of course, but it is that type of room. But instead of like all just computers and stuff lined up there, no, I'm not going to do I am alive.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be.
My brain is on tape.
Yeah, I'm not going to be doing that because they're not that there's computers or like a pile of computer stations here. It looks to be fairly large machines here. The room does look fairly sterile. It doesn't look ransacked.
Clean floors?
No, because I guess regardless, actually the floors would be clean. Like, if there's no air movement, would dust accumulate? No, so they would be fairly clean. They're not spotless. There wasn't a janitor in here every day mopping this floor, right?
Teethy.
That would be the shittiest job.
But basically, as you're looking in, you can see to your right along the walls are desks and like research stations. Okay? And along the left, you see the same thing. And then along the walls on the right or left, you see these large generators and machines with lights starting to come on.
So things are still powering up.
So things are still powering up. And it goes down this line, and then at the far wall, there's larger machines there, but they seem to be attached to almost like vats of liquid, like canisters, like fairly large, and there's liquid in them, and the liquid you can see just bubbles come up, as if they were maybe a containment. Think now, anyone who watches Star Wars, think of the
Back to tanks.
That's what they look like attached to these large machines, and there is two back to tanks, size things on either side, but then right in front of you, ahead of you, seems to be a metal segmented, almost like a garage door, like in the shape of a fairly large door frame, but it seems to be closed, like there's metal plates sealing off what looks to be an exit from the room. Like it is, you know what I mean? From your distance, that's what you see. It doesn't look like they were put there like hammer, placed there to block the exit, but it seems that way is sealed for some reason.
Like, is there no way to open it?
Like a
Like
blast.
Well, I'm just saying this is what you see as you look in.
And it's in the distance, so.
Yeah. Also, of course, along there, around the larger machines at the end, you do see computer stations. One on either side.
And they're powered up. Everything's powered up.
Everything's starting to power up. You can hear the drone of machinery, generators kicking in, and stuff like that.
Trish is just looking around going, I like what they've done with the place. Prettiest haunted hospital I ever seen.
Jesus.
The 2 computers, they're both identical? Or
Did
is-
you want to walk down through
Yes.
the room to the end?
Why don't we... We're all in one big room.
Yes, this is one big room. You're at
Let's-
the entranceway.
Why don't we pairs? I'm going to start going through this computer with these cards. And then whatever information we get, we'll meet in the middle and then compile.
Yeah, there seems to be a large table in the middle. It doesn't look like there's anything really on it. It was just more of a place to talk about things. You know what I mean? There's like a square rectangular table. And there's chairs on it. Almost like you'd sit down and have a meeting.
Are
You ever
there papers and things on it?
No,
Okay.
like if you walk into a conference room and it's just a table that you could sit
It's like
at.
been left for the next person to come and use.
Yes.
That's when you put it that way. That sounds creepy.
Okay, so what's going to happen is, I'm assuming from what Agent Halbrecht said, is he's going to go to the computer.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and say, okay, so Trish
I'm sorry.
Is it?
and Ginny,
Yes.
and then Nurse Harrison and Mr. Mick. Okay, so Nurse Harrison and Mr. Mick, left side of the room.
Mr. Mick.
And then we got Trish and Ginny, who's going to be the right side of the room, and you're going down to the end to check that computer.
So are both sides, they're laid out evenly? Or is there
No,
one
there's-
side is desks
there's
and
different-
one side is...
So, against the wall,
Yeah.
as you look through the door, if you look to your right, against the wall, here, like
Yeah.
you're here, is research stations. Same on the other side.
Okay.
Now against the, as you're looking in and to your right, against that far walls, is where there's a pile of machinery and generators and stuff. And then at the opposite you at the other end seems to be the larger machines with a computer station on the other side and that weird steel segment.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
All
Is
right.
that all good?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so you move in. Now you're all within sight of each other in this room, if that makes sense. I am going to, so on the left side of the room, which is Nurse Harrison and Mr. Mick, who has the best search?
Probably me.
Right?
Yeah.
What is your search?
63.
Okay, I'm going to have you roll a search though, and I'm going to have you roll a mechanics.
Oh.
These are machines,
That
right?
makes sense.
Boo.
94 out of 43.
70 out of 63.
Okay, don't forget to put ticks in those. As you're sort of looking along, and I'm going to say that you don't really, you're not really familiar with this equipment,
No,
right?
I've
you're
never
just
seen
like,
it before.
Oh, okay, fair enough. And I'm going to say, Mr. Mick, you're like, okay, so there are generators and stuff, and it's connecting. It's mostly a power source or something, but that's as far as you can get. You're not really sure what this equipment is, with the end result of what this is supposed to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we're going to go to the right hand side of the room where we have Ginny and we have Trish, where search as well. Unless there's something else you want to do, I don't believe either of you has mechanics or electrician.
I'm not here for. I'm here to support the people who do those jobs. Basically. Yeah.
Right. So it would just be a search.
My search is only 22 anyway.
Mine's only 20.
So we
I
go.
can
there
do
you
the
go.
search
So
then.
we go to the person with the better search, and you just roll.
72.
72. Yeah. So you don't really
We're all
find.
doing good.
You know. Okay. But basically, as you're searching, it's sort of the generators are kicking in, right? It's, and the lights are on.
And I'm watching, keeping a side eye on the doors and stuff too, right? Like.
Oh, yeah. Doors and corners. Yeah. Okay, so as we go to Agent Halbrecht, who now you get up to the computers, and it seems to be this doorway in the middle, and then there's two almost identical computer stations, like with a monitor sort of built out of the machine. You know what I mean? It's not like Connect, it's just built out of the machine.
Like those? That's 73 of them? Or
Yeah, so
actually-
like a Wang 2200? If somebody wanted to look it up. Yeah, so I mean, it's because
Computers you'd see in James.
So if you wanted to look up the computers that use data cards, you can just look up for the time period and everything else. But it's sort of like built out of it, built out as machines, and you can see the slots for the data cards, right? And then between them is this doors. Yeah. So what would you like to do? And there's chairs as well.
Start from the card are they dated or just numbered?
They're just numbered, but the numbers are like not numeric, like they're not in. It doesn't seem like there's an order to them. Like it's not like this is card 1, this is card 2, this is card 3. They're not like numerically like they're numbers, but they're like 6-digit numbers.
Oh, good lord!
Right?
Okay.
But you do have the order of the box itself, which is the first.
I'm gonna go from. I'm going to take the card that's in front and the card that's in back. I want to check those two first, just to kind of get an idea of what information I get.
Okay, so you...
The order of the information in the box.
Okay, so you take out the front card, and you're going to put... And there seems to be a slot there, and you're sort of looking at the card. Which way do you want to put it in?
The
Computer science roll.
I have 0%.
You don't know how computers work. So basically, let's say whatever side you do, as you put the card to the hole, it's not taking it. Because something needs to be done with the computer to make it accept.
Oh my god!
I'm just watching Hallbrecht's like.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
He's just like trying to push his card against the slot. And it's like.
Right?
As the guy in real life who does all the technical stuff, I hate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Turn on switch.
Do you want to randomly start fucking with it?
No.
I think
do it.
I think there's a good chance there's only one person among us who knows how computers work. It's not me.
And did I notice that she knew what she was doing when she looked at the computer cards?
No, because she
Just not their computer cards. Their data cards. I would see them in a lab.
Yeah.
You would see them in the lab. Oh, you knew they were data cards, though.
Yeah, you did call them data cards.
That's right.
Dr. Eakley. You know what these... You know what these are, right?
How does that feel in your mouth, Zach? How does that feel in your mouth? Tech dog.
I'm just gonna look at him and be like the look of, bitch, please.
Come help me, please.
I will go over.
Yeah, please have your input.
Now, I'm assuming Trish is also heading over.
No, Trish will just stay where she is.
Okay, so...
Trish is
Watch, I'm
wandering
going to work
around.
on this with you.
Okay.
Trish is just wandering around.
Okay.
For me, looking at the data cards, for the numbers, would I associate them to things I've already seen, like any other piece of information? Like, is there a code that coincides with something I've seen before?
So, I'm going to say, of course, first off, you go over. Are you handing her the box of data cards?
I leave the box of data cards on the table, but letting her access them, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, it's not like you're arrested or anything.
No.
Not yet.
No, but like, so you lay the cards down. Is it okay for me to say you go open it up and then try to see how these would be numbered? Okay, fair enough. So as you quickly scan through, I'm not going to grab. What is your percentage in computer science? 40 or 50?
40.
40, which is fine. As you're scanning through, you do see that I said there was around 50 cards. So let's say there was 48 total. That's what I'm going to go with. There's 24. The first 24.
Okay.
They seem to be the punches on them and how they're laid out. It's not that they're the same card, but they're the same system.
Mm.
When you look at the back 24, the card is slightly different, but it's imperceptible to somebody who didn't know how data cards worked.
That's me.
So you know that one of these, and then as you quickly, just to say, this is something you could probably tell, there will be a computer science roll required at some point, but as you can tell, it looks like one of the computers, the key card file system is set up for the first 24 cards, and the other one is set up for the last 24 cards.
Okay. All right. I'll look at you and be like, so these data cards are ordered per which one will work on what computer. So, for example, the first section of these will work on one of these computers. The last section of these will work on another computer.
That seems dramatically overcomplicated.
Unless you want to keep information secret. I mean, like right?
Yeah,
keep information separate. Because it's kind of weird that you got two stations, and why wouldn't they take the same?
Right.
So, with that check, is there anything with those cards? Because you said that there was something that did differentiate. Would it be a code that associated to a computer specifically?
Oh, you can tell just by looking at the slot.
Yeah.
And the layout of it. I'm just going to be willing to do this. Actually, there's a little tiny sticker that denotes what kind of the cards this one takes, and then a little tiny label that says what kind of cards the other one takes. Now, the issue is now the difference is that code isn't on the data cards themselves.
Okay.
You need to know by looking at the data cards the two different types to be like, oh, that's this style of card. It's not marked on the cards.
I know. I was just thinking.
But I know.
You
which
know
one
from looking at it.
Oh, okay. So I can arbitrarily say the front one belongs to the left.
Yes,
the back one.
I'm willing.
Okay, cool.
Whatever order you want.
I was
Fantastic.
It's just like people to like try and keep stuff secret, but then have to put like their password on a sticker, like on a post-it note.
Yeah, that's why I think it's funny.
That's why I think it's fun.
So anyway, I look at you and I say, from what I see from these data cards, the first goes to the right computer, the last goes to the left computer. So if you, because you said you picked out the front and the back card. Do you remember? Well, I would discern which one's the front and the back card. But I
put
mean,
them back where I found them.
okay, one is not going to read the other one. That's basically what it is. So
Great.
Okay.
yeah. So
You also know that you would need to power, like the system has power now. At this point, I'm going to say the generators go down a level of humming, as there's this energy in here. It feels like, you know what I mean. The machines are running, but it's not as loud as when it was in startup. But it does look like the computer screens are blank right now. But looking at it, you could very easily turn them on.
okay, yeah, I want to turn them both on.
Yeah. Now, it's impossible for you to really tell what the data cards do.
No, yeah.
Till you
fair.
start looking into the system.
Yeah, but I want to boot up the computers.
Yep, so you start booting up to, and then it's like, lines of old-ass code, people. Old-ass code. Maybe even technologically more advanced than should be at this time period, but it's there. It's all green screen.
The Matrix would be envious.
Yeah. When he called you over, I thought you were going to walk up to him and be like, have you tried turning it on and off again?
Oh, God.
Yeah, so a flick, and then you can get that code going.
Okay.
Now, while that's happening, I'm going to go back to Trish, who's on the, let's say,
I'm
one
just-
of the sides by yourself.
Yeah.
Are you going to continue searching?
I can, yeah.
No, sorry. I phrased that wrong, and that's on me. You've already tried to search the side of the machines. There's still back the research desks.
So,
Did you want to search one of those?
so here's the thing about Trish. Her job is to protect people who are coming in to find things here.
Mm-hmm.
She is interested in having, obviously, we already know this, in having information sometimes that might be interesting to her to hold on to. But she's not, she doesn't have a horse in the race,
Okay, so I'm just going to say you're standing at...
Like you said, it was a circular room. So if I move to the right, we didn't find anything there or whatever, I'm just wandering around in a circle, keeping an eye on the door while they do their thing.
So
Doors and corners.
Yes.
So, but would you
It's
just
a round room.
I would, I'd probably glance at the stuff on the tables and that, but I'm not actively searching cabinets.
Well, is it okay for me to say that if you're only cared about the protection of the people in this room, that you're standing around 10 feet back? Because the doors to this room are still open. Remember I said
they are. That's why I wanted to
and
watch.
you're
right?
there with the gun looking down toward the elevator.
Yeah.
That's fair to say.
Yeah.
There is no lights down there.
Yeah.
Like, the lights in the hallway don't come on.
Yeah.
So, did you just
So
gonna be there
we're in a
shining?
bright room. Yeah, I'll have my flashlight on, and yeah.
Fair enough. So
Well,
now...
the science people do their science.
So now I'm going to go to Nurse Harrison, and I'm going to go to Mr. Mick. So you've searched your side. Both sides seem to have been searched, and nothing has been found. But there's still on either side of the entrance. Do you understand what I mean? As
Yep.
you're looking, there's these research.
I
desk
want to
areas.
check those next.
Okay. Well, which one? There's one at a
I'll
time.
stay on the left because that's where I started.
Are you going is Mr. Mick going with Nurse Harrison to check the same research station, or are you just splitting up? One of you doing one research station, one of you doing the other.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna stick with her because I haven't got a fucking clue what any of this is.
That's fair.
I feel you, bro.
That's a good point.
Next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently neither do I.
So can you roll me research?
Set the right guy for the job on this one.
I'm a man who only got a grade 9 education, so
73 out of 63.
Okay, yeah, really fun.
There's nothing to find here.
No, it just seems to be just lines of code, research information, but nothing that's really denotes what's going on here.
Should put more points in the search.
Well, I mean, this is 60
Who
search
knew,
is good,
right?
but don't forget, with fail and search, you get
Oh,
tick. You might already have a tick.
I do.
Hey, we're rolling ticks after this.
Yeah, we are.
We all got ticks after this.
Well, this will be, yeah.
But technically, the last one was 8.
Yeah, but I wanted to,
Yeah.
yeah, so, after this one. Okay. And then, so both computers power up.
Yep. I'll take the corresponding card and try the first one in whatever corresponding computer that I'm at. I'll say the left computer.
Okay, how about this, actually, before you start putting the data cards is, with a successful computer science check, I will allow you to, the computer's on, check the system to see what it's responsible for. If that's
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? You could look in the system.
Surprise! We put this in, we're gonna open this big ass door, and there's a problem back there. It's like Cthulhu waiting. He's like, oh, who wakes me from my slumber?
I'm just going to call for computer science roll before you randomly start throwing in
that's
data cards.
Makes sense.
Better than me.
15 out of 40.
Yes! Sorry.
Okay.
Finally, we know something.
So
For
you
me, and that could
spend...
be-
Oh, Rick, actually,
Now I'm going to
that's
say that this is during searching and trying to figure things out. It takes around half an hour. As you're checking one computer and you're going over to the other station and you're checking it.
Because you
And-
can't exactly Google.
What?
You can't.
Ask Jeeves?
That won't be invented for another 20 years.
20!
So you realize that it's sort of like a locked door, and it's supposed to, this door in the middle will rise up.
Okay.
You need to put alternating cards in them, or the system will break. Okay, so, and then it can only be released by authorization from the medical director.
Ooh.
Oh, well, yeah, that's not great.
So-
Maybe he has his password on a sticky note on his desk.
Yeah. So
At the back of the monitor.
you realize that
the keys
it's,
in the fucking sun hood.
it's the first 8 cards of the 25 card pile, and it's the last 8 cards of the second 24 card pile.
I was almost right.
Almost right.
And you need to put in, for the first pile, 1 card, then last card in the other one, alternating till there's 8 in each.
I'll do whatever you
And
tell
then
me to do.
some kind of process is going to start.
Right.
Now, what you know from the computer system is this opens up a hallway, opens up an entranceway into an area that, what's going on?
I'm just wondering if I know what's coming.
An entranceway into a containment zone is what it's referred to, which is a containment zone room that's meant to house some kind of biological specimen. Okay? You can also see it's vague, but because of how the ancient the system is, it seems to be, it's not like you get the blueprints, but it seems to show a fairly large square room that has a hatchway to go into, and there is some more computer systems in the way to do research. But also it seems on the top of this room there's like another segmented metal ring which can open up in a circle, and there's which is what was used to get whatever the biological specimen was into this room. And then they were taking samples. Now this is very vague from the half hour, but apparently samples were being taken from whatever this thing was, and that's what was being used to experiment on to make chemical weaponry.
Huh.
Okay?
So they.
And then you find an error code. You find error codes written in that back January 30th, 1968, the day of the evacuation because of the Tet Offensive. The last error code had shown that somebody had bypassed. No, sorry. Somebody had bypassed the regular controls of the system and had opened the circular.
The sealing hatch.
They let out the biological specimen.
Yes.
Oh no.
And that's what you sort of get from the system.
Oh,
Okay.
Dr. Quill, you bastard.
Thank you for listening to The Call 1973. The next episode will premiere Tuesday, May 14th at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on YouTube before going up on all of our audio services 1 hour later. Support us on Ko-fi. A single coffee just one time gets you into the community Discord, and if you're able to provide continued support, you get access to behind-the-scenes commentaries. Our next GM Fireside Chat will be announced soon. Join us on Discord to be the first to know when that is. You may also notice that on our YouTube channel, our very first GM commentary from March has been uploaded, and you can watch that for free if you are unable to support us in other ways. We'll be aiming to release every Fireside Chat about a month after that they've come out. Spacious has begun recording new episodes with the Cortex Prime system. Its air date will be announced once we have enough episodes to post. As usual, we love to thank all of our donators over on Ko-fi, including our dedicated dilettantes, Noah, 3 Slugs in a Trench Coat, Autumn Beamer, Ed Lore, TJ, Josiah, Rosa, Tyler, The Weej, Austin, James, Maddie Cowgill, Blizzard Warning, Sydney, Baba Yaga, Shadow Rose, and Preston. Your players for tonight were Elizabeth Wells, Janessa Coles, Lindsay Delansky, Scott Gillis, and Zach Barrett. Your GM or handler was Derek Snow. Have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you next time.